In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful, my dear friends, the life is does not remain the same. The life does not remain the smooth same. It does not go smoothly. It does not go smoothly at all. It keeps fluctuating. Sometimes we are a bit comfortable, cozy. At certain other times, we are not so. There are several types of difficulties, troubles, which does afflict us off and on. Several types of it. Dear friends, why does it happen, by the way? In the eyes of many people, these are just wrong decisions taken by we ourselves, which puts us into the difficulty, into the trouble, while still in the eyes of certain other people, it is mere luck, fate, which brings us a situation like this one. And yet there are people who partially believe in the luck, and partially they do believe on the decisions a person does take, whatever it is. At least there is a kind of, there is a kind of agreement, or you know there is a kind of, you can say that, uh, a kind of, a same sort of opinion that it does happen off and on, and it cannot be, almost it is unavoidable. Now the situation, now the thing is that, what how, if at all, a person can prevent it, how a person can prevent it, on the one hand. And if at all it does happen, it does occur, how can we cope with it, how can we better, bear with it? And this is something which we are going to talk about as far our today's discussion and talk is concerned. Dear friends, I think first of all we need to take the rational decisions. We need to take our decisions cool mindedly, and we shouldn't become a hot tempered at all. And if at all, some of the times we jump to the conclusion without much of the consideration, without much of the thinking. We start taking decisions. We do take the decisions without proper consideration, and we do take the decisions on the emotional basis instead of being logical, instead of being rational. So I think this sort of situation, can be, I think, should not be so, because we need to think logically, we need to think rationally, we need to think cool mindedly, and before taking any decision, I think a due amount of time must be given to it, and a sort of, proper process should be adopted, a proper way should be adopted, because the decision taking is something very very important. It is something extremely important as far our life is concerned, because if at all we are careless as far the decision taking is concerned, we do have to repent and to regret later on. We might have to regret a lot, my dear friend. This is the number one. Number two, if at all, unfortunately, any bad situation has occurred, and it does occur off and on. First of all, we don't need to panic at all. We shouldn't be panicking at all. Panic is something which makes the situation even worse, so we don't need to panic at all. We need to remain calm and confidence. This is the first step. If at all a difficult time, a difficulty has arisen, I think the first thing which must be done is that we shouldn't panic. We should keep calm and alert, and calm and alert. And then we need to keep our morale high by positive thinking. If at all a kind of a difficult situation has occurred, it does not mean that I shall remain here forever, or even the things will keep getting worse with the passage of time. Not so. Rather, I shall not panic. I shall keep calm. I shall stay alert, and I shall keep my mindset absolutely positive and responsible. And because of this positivity of the thought, because because of this highly responsible attitude, I shall bounce back. I shall return to the great situation. I shall become as comfortable as I used to be. Rather, I shall become even more comfortable with the passage of time, because because of my attitudes, because of my right sort of decision taking, I shall inshallah keep getting better and better with the passage of time. Dear friends, I think that these are very important thing. Now also we need to understand that there is one more thing which is extremely important, which helps us a lot, and which prevents us from taking the drastic, the worst kind of decision, and the attitude. That is resilience. We must be very resilient. This resilience is of utmost importance, because unless and until we are resilient enough, we never become able to pause that difficult time with ease and with comfort. So resilience is absolutely and extremely important. Unless and until we are resilient enough, we shall never be able we shall never be able to live it well, to live our life well, because the life does not remain the same at all. No matter how wealthy somebody is, no matter how strong somebody is, no matter how wise or intelligent somebody is, as far the change of the circumstances is concerned, these are unavoidable. And these change of the circumstances, if at all the things have become somewhat slightly difficult, we can only protect ourselves by keeping ourselves resilient enough, and by keeping ourselves, our attitudes, as highly positive, highly responsible. And we need to keep our morale high, and we need to think positive. And as far the decision taking is concerned, this decision taking must be highly rational one, and it should not be emotional. The lesser the involvement, the emotions in it, I think the better it would be. And the more emotional we are, I think the more kind of wrong and the bad decisions we do take, for which we do have to repent and regret later on. It becomes our trouble, our sore points, and our failures as well. So these are the things which must be understood well, I think so.